You said something. Nobody reacted. 3 seconds later, someone else said almost the same thing. The whole table lit up. So your body does the thing it learned to do. You laugh half a second too late, just to prove you're still part of the conversation. You start over-nodding, smiling harder than you need to, trying to keep your place in the room. And then, you go quiet. Watch the table first, before deciding if the room wants to hear you again. Did I talk too much? Was that weird? Why did nobody react to that? Your jaw hurts from holding the same polite smile all night. You're not having a bad night. You're working one. By the time everyone says goodbye, you're already exhausted. Not from the night, from the performance of being fine inside it. And on the way home, the thought arrives quiet and precise. No one hates me, but no one really sees me either, because after enough nights like this, your brain stops waiting to be included. It starts preparing to disappear first. At some point, you realize you've been keeping score all night. How many times you spoke, how many times someone actually responded, how many times the conversation just moved on. You start laughing before the punchline lands, just to avoid being half a second behind again. You stop finishing your sentences the second someone looks distracted. You fake check your phone every time the silence feels too long. That's hypervigilance. Your nervous system treating every social signal like missing one could change the whole room. The threat isn't obvious. It's not a fight, not a cold shoulder. It's a response that's just slightly too short. Someone's eyes skipping past you too fast. The moment you spoke, and nobody picked your sentence back up. Most people in that room are just having dinner. You are monitoring a situation. And the worst part isn't the counting. It's that you can't stop. Checking every reaction, replaying the moment nobody picked your sentence back up, trying to figure out what changed. Be honest. How many times tonight did you check if the room had already moved on from you? Go through your last 10 conversations. How many of them did you start? You tell yourself some friendships only survive if you keep them moving. But you notice how quiet your phone gets when you stop reaching out first. So, you type something. Delete it. Type it again, shorter this time. Send it before you can talk yourself out of it. Then you put your phone face down so you stop checking. Then you check anyway. You reread your own message, trying to hear it from the perspective of someone tired of you. Nothing comes back, so you wait. Calculate how many hours apart 2 messages need to be before it stops looking desperate. Then you send another one anyway. The brutal part isn't the silence, it's what you do inside it, already practicing how to act normal if they never answer. Because stopping would mean admitting you were the only one holding it together. And once you admit that, you don't know what you're supposed to do next. So, you send another message. The night is over, you're home, door closed, shoes off, but your brain didn't come home with you. It's still back at the table, rewinding. That moment you heard your own voice and suddenly felt like you'd been talking too long. The joke that didn't land, the part where you laughed too loud, and immediately started pulling yourself back in. You open Instagram, check if anyone posted from tonight. Look for photos you weren't tagged in. There's one. Everyone's in it. You were there. You're not in the frame. You tell yourself it doesn't mean anything. Then you screenshot it anyway. That's post-social rumination. Your brain going back through the night, trying to find the exact moment you became too much. Nobody excluded you. Nobody said anything cruel. That's what makes it impossible to explain, and impossible to shake. Because the wound isn't what happened, it's what didn't. No one pulled you aside, no one noticed enough to be unkind. And that's the part that keeps you up, not the photo. The fact that you're not sure if anyone would have noticed either way. Someone in the group suggests a place you hate, loud music, overpriced drinks, not your thing. You say, sure, I'm okay with whatever. Not because you want to go, because your brain already jumped ahead to, what if they stop asking next time? So you go. You sit in a corner for 2 hours. You nod before you even know if you agree. You watch everyone else's reactions before deciding how to react yourself. And the whole night, a small part of you keeps thinking, why does nobody ever ask what I want? By the end of the night, your whole body feels tight from pretending all evening. That's the fawn response. Your nervous system choosing discomfort now over the risk of rejection later. The cruelest part? It works. People like you. They find you easy to be around. But easy to be around is not the same as being known. And at some point you realize you've spent so long making yourself acceptable. You don't actually know what you'd say if someone asked what you wanted. Everyone suddenly seems to know something you never heard about. A plan, a conversation, something that happened. Nobody excluded you on purpose. You can tell. But your stomach drops before your brain catches up. You know it's probably nothing. Work stuff. Or they just forgot. Or it genuinely didn't involve you, but your body already filed it under. Evidence. That's rejection sensitivity. Your nervous system flagging social exclusion the same way it would flag physical danger. It doesn't wait for confirmation. It doesn't ask for context. It just reacts. And the worst part is knowing it's happening. You can see yourself doing it. This is probably nothing. They're not leaving you out on purpose. But the feeling doesn't care about logic. Your brain already searching backwards for every moment that suddenly feels different now. Every exchange that seemed fine at the time. Every silence you maybe read wrong. Trying to find exactly when the distance quietly started growing. Which one felt a little too familiar? At some point, you stop waiting to feel included. You just start leaving early. Not dramatically, no announcement. You just quietly begin disappearing before anyone gets the chance to not notice you're gone. You mute the group chat for a few days, just to see if anyone reaches out. The silence stretches longer than you hoped. You tell yourself you needed space, but you know what you were actually doing. You were running a test you didn't want the results of. This is what anxious attachment looks like when it stops chasing. Not healing, not indifference, just a nervous system that got tired of bracing for impact and started disappearing on purpose. Psychologists call this preemptive withdrawal. You leave before you can be left. You go quiet before you can be ignored. You disappear before anyone gets the chance to slowly stop reaching for you. And the saddest part? It feels like control. For about 5 minutes, it actually feels like relief. Until you're sitting on the subway platform at 11 at night, earphones in, volume all the way up, and you realize you don't actually want to disappear. You just didn't know how to stay without it hurting. None of this means you're broken. It means your nervous system learned to protect you in the only way it knew how. But protection isn't the same as living. 1. Name what's happening without letting it make the next decision. When your stomach drops because you weren't included, pause before you build the case. My rejection sensitivity just fired. That's a reaction, not a verdict. You don't have to fix the feeling, you just have to stop mistaking it for fact. 2. Send the message without the test. Next time you reach out because you want to, not to see if they'll reach back. One is connection, the other is a trap you built yourself. 3. Stay long enough to see that the room doesn't disappear without you. Don't leave early, don't mute the chat. It's going to feel wrong at first. Your body will still think danger is coming, but most of the time, nothing collapses. Your nervous system just never got the chance to learn that. You're not too sensitive. You're not too needy. You're not too much. You're someone whose nervous system learned to read every room like a place it might not belong. That's not a personality flaw. That's a survival pattern that outlived the danger it was built for. And it can change. Not overnight, not with one conversation, but slowly, every time you stay past the point of discomfort and nothing falls apart. Go back to that subway platform, 11 at night, earphones in. You put them in because the noise outside felt like too much. But you're going home. That's not disappearing. That's just knowing when the night is done. If this felt familiar, share it with someone who might need to hear it too. They probably won't say anything, but they'll know you thought of them.